I bought this car in 2022, early 2022, so you've seen it a few times in the videos, and I bought it pretty well to replace the Jeep that I had as my daily driver. It's a 2007 Volvo XC90, and it's done 250,000 kilometers, I think, roughly. But now the air conditioning's packed up, and at that point I have to decide whether it's worth keeping or selling, because the cost of repair is greater than the value of the vehicle. And unless it's a classic, which it really isn't, at that point you have to decide whether it's time to let it go, and I think I pretty well made that decision. Let's give it a wash and see what it looks like after it's been washed. Washing cars is bloody hard work. Even with all of the latest gadgetry like Karcher pressure washers and snow blowers or whatever the hell those things are called, there's still a fair amount of work involved, and that's got me beat, I'm afraid, I have to confess. I suppose part of it's the temperature too. It's that sort of low 30s again, I should think, around about there, so pretty steamy. I don't know whether you can hear that machinery running in the background, but I think it's a generator, actually. Anyway, I think cars, there is a limit, I think, to what you spend on a car, depending on how badly you need it. And really, I think that if it's your only vehicle, then I think that you're better off actually spending the money on something that you know, rather than sell it and then buy something that you don't know, only to find that it has exactly the same problem or worse as time goes by. So you're better off, I think, spending the money. Now, with that Volvo, for example, you know, I spent quite a bit of money on it, but not an excessive amount, just enough to make sure that it was well maintained, you know. So servicing when it needed it, disc brakes when it needed it, front control arms when they were needed, and a couple of engine parts such as the EGR valve. But there was also engine mounts, and you recall that I replaced one of those when I had the shop do the others. And there was also the steering column stalk, turn indicator, and also the gear shift lever, which again you saw. But they're relatively minor fixes, you know, so over 3.5 years, if I've spent, you know, $3,000 or $4,000, it doesn't turn out to be very much per year on maintenance. I did put new tyres on it just a few days ago, a couple of weeks ago, but I'd put tyres on any car, so I don't necessarily consider that a particularly Volvo specific cost, if you know what I mean. Now, because it's late in the day and I don't know what the time is, well, it's nearly 4 o'clock, I'm going to call it a day there with that now, but I will take it up to the shed I've got to go and rescue a dog. Back in a minute. You know, Millie just cannot be trusted. If I leave her for more than a few minutes, she goes over to the fence and starts running up and down the fence again, and you've seen those videos. But of course she's got her bloody legs bandaged up, so I can't imagine what sort of damage she's doing tearing up and down the fence with legs supported only by strapping. Anyway, look, that generator that I was talking about is in fact a generator running while someone over the back there is doing some laser cutting, and they're very noisy, as you can tell. So let's call it quits at that, and we'll take the car up to the shed tomorrow or the day after, clean it all out, and see if we can get it stuck up on Marketplace and see if we can get some offers for it. See you next time. We've had a huge amount of rain and thunder and lightning and all sorts of stuff over the last few days, so we haven't got to this until now. The sun's come out and now it's sweltering, so you can't win. It's either drenching or you're boiling. Either way, anyway, look, we've got to get this done. I've got the vacuum cleaner here. We've cleaned everything out. I've just got to now go through with the vacuum cleaner and vacuum the whole car. I'll remove the tow ball, the insert. It didn't have that when it came. I put that on, and then we'll be ready to go. So we'll go and take some photographs. So we got the car cleaned up and went out to a couple of locations and took some photographs. Here's some pics of it, by the way. And then I put it up on Marketplace, and I went to list it on Gumtree, but on Gumtree cars they want to charge a fee these days, and what Gumtree damn responses. I don't know whether you've had that same experience, but all you get is a bunch of people say that I'm currently in, I don't know, WA on an oil rig, and my brother will pick it up. Will you do pay ID or whatever the hell it is? And they're just scammers. So it's on Marketplace, and I did get a bit carried away because when I went to put it on Gumtree, they suggested a figure in excess of $7,000. Now I don't think that it is, but I've advertised it at $6,800. And we'll see how I go. I'm always willing to drop it and always willing to take an offer anyway, so we'll see how I go. Wish me luck.